I don't know about you, but as someone that grew up in a pretty frugal household, it was common knowledge that Olive Garden and Red Lobster were considered 5-star restaurants. Like, we would only reserve those for the most special occasions like a graduation, an anniversary, or a wedding reception, literally. I think that's how my brother celebrated. In this video, I'm gonna share 13 more frugal habits and mindsets that I have, and I bet you're gonna relate if you consider yourself any level of frugal. Okay, let's start with some level 1 habits in the world of frugality, and if you do any of these things, you could consider yourself a casual frugal. Habit 2, get every last drop by any means necessary. One habit that I've noticed is that I will use every last drop of liquid soap or lotion that there is in a container, and I will make sure that happens by any means necessary. Like, literally for the last 2 weeks, I've been using that little straw to scrape the sides and the bottom of my face lotion so I can use every little bit of what's in that tiny expensive container. Because we all know face lotions cost a whole lot more than body lotion, so might as well get everything we can out of that 3-ounce bottle that costs 17 bucks. Really, I think this habit came from my parents when they would add water into a shampoo bottle or water into the hand soap, just so we can use that final residue sitting at the bottom. And keep in mind, as we go through this video, all of these habits are things that I personally do to get the most out of my money. So you might relate to me, you might not, but my goal is for you to pick up some new frugal habits for the new year. The next habit I live to this day is getting party supplies from the dollar store. Most party supplies and party decorations are literally gonna be thrown away in a span of 4 hours. So you will not catch me at a party city ever, because I can find my plastic tablecloths and colored napkins and gift bags from my local Dollar Tree. And yes, out of all the dollar stores out there, I do love Dollar Tree the most. They just look better, look cleaner, and have more stuff than Dollar General or Family Dollar. This next habit comes from the fact that going out and going downtown is only something that I do on occasion, because on a normal week, I try my best to avoid any metro area. One, they usually kind of stink and are a little sketch, but two, I just don't like finding and paying for parking. There have been so many times where I've just been desperate to get out of the busy street, so I'll pull into the first parking garage that I find. And then I'll end up spending like $30 for 2 hours of parking. And then I'll realize that just down the block, if I went a little further, I could have found a parking garage that would have been 10 bucks for the whole night. So this one's on me, guys. Maybe it's because we're in a new city now and I don't know quite all of the good parking spots. But as of right now, that hassle of finding and paying for parking is keeping me away from downtown events. I'd much rather go to those old historic downtown areas, you know, the ones where they hold farmers markets and community events. Okay, so my newest habit that I picked up this year is shopping for clothes at my local Sam's Club. And if you're over 30 years old, you're probably thinking, why is he acting like this is a weird thing? But I'll tell you, if you're under 30 and especially under 20 years old, you're probably thinking, ew, so cringe, such a dad. And it's not like these places are just selling generic Sam's Club brands. They're actually selling real known brands. And the prices are pretty good. Like a pair of Adidas sweatpants would cost you $19 at Sam's Club, but cost you $36 at a normal retail store. And that's it for these level 1 habits. If you live some of them, great, but let's see if you live any of my level 2 habits, which I consider pretty dang frugal. Habit 6, washing my own car. I know if you live in a suburb in your own house, this might feel completely normal and not even considered a frugal habit. But as someone that lives in an apartment paying rent, we don't usually have much space or a real good setting where we can wash our own cars. Most people turn to a car wash. But for us, we decided to still wash our own cars. Thankfully, we do have a car wash station in our complex. It's pretty rare, they just have one hose and that's it. But because of that, we're not going the popular route and choosing to pay $15 every time we get a car wash. We just decided to buy our own soap and our own sponges. And thankfully, we already had a bucket. So now obviously we've been able to get way more washes for our dollar, and it's not like us washing our car is just this horrible waste of time and I could be making more money during that time. Like, we just do this on a chill Saturday morning. You know, that's just part of our normal errands. But I will tell you, the only part that annoys me a little bit is the setup before washing and the cleanup after washing. So maybe in the future, if we do find a good car wash that maybe has like a family deal that can get us unlimited washes during the month, we'll probably take advantage of that. So stay tuned if I do get a little bougie in the future. Okay, this next habit is just a funny one, and it shows again how willing I am to make sure I get the most out of our dollars. Whenever we have a jar or a bottle that holds something like spaghetti sauce, even lotion, shampoo, pretty much any viscous liquid, I will do this little goofy trick that I found on TikTok last year. I call it the helicopter arm. You see, doing this weird twirl is actually using physics, I believe it's called centripetal force, to get all of the remaining liquid to the top of the jar or bottle. And it literally works so well, so you won't be wasting anything anymore. So I want you to try it out. Comment below if it did work for you too. Habit number 8 is one you can apply when we get into the month of October, or if you have a costume party during the year. I never really buy full costumes, like the ones you get at Party City or Spirit Halloween. It is convenient, yes, but it does take away some originality, and honestly, okay, who cares about the originality part? It takes a lot of money to buy these pre-prepped costumes, like spending $60 to $80 to be a pirate. Typically, I'll end up going to a thrift shop to creatively put something together, or just buy some small elements of the costume from Amazon. Like, have you seen those outfits that people wear to raves and like EDC? Those aren't anything you can get from Party City, all right? That takes some creativity. And let's be honest here, you wear a crazy costume in order to get fun reactions, and when you're more creative, you get the best reactions anyways. Habit 9, avoid delivery services at all costs. Honestly, this habit should be ingrained in your soul if you want to start saving money this upcoming year. And when it comes to avoiding delivery services, I'm not talking about Amazon Prime shipping, I'm talking about food delivery like Uber Eats, Instacart, and DoorDash. These third-party delivery services can typically add 30% more money to your total order. And what is this 30% made of? Like, what are these fees? Well, you got your service charges, your delivery fees, and of course your driver tips. The only time, honestly, that I will order any food delivery is when I order pizza, specifically from Papa John's. I'm not sure if you knew this, but I got my start delivering pizzas from Papa John's, so of course I'll support that hustle, you know. This 10th habit is also very unpopular. I usually buy tech that is 2 to 3 generations old. I don't feel this need to get the latest updates, and if you've seen any of my videos, I always talk about this old iPhone that I'm still rocking with. I think of buying new technology the same way I think about buying a new car. I already know how much of a premium I'm paying just because it's the newest model, and I understand how much of the value I'm gonna lose once I take it off the shelf or drive it off the parking lot, because now that new thing is considered used. Also, real talk, I don't even know how good or reliable a piece of tech is when it first comes out. It's really those first movers who buy the new tech on the first day that are the ones gonna get screwed or figure out something's actually worth it. Like, what even happened to the Apple Vision Pros? No one even talks about those anymore. I'd rather watch people make the purchase, create their review videos on YouTube, and then I'll just chill until I actually need an upgrade. And so far, your boy doesn't need an upgrade. All right, let me give you a pat on the back, a round of applause if you may, if you already live some of these habits. And I'd be surprised if you actually do the arm twirl thing, because that one is pretty strange. But now, if we're gonna really talk about being strange, these next 4 habits are for those who would really consider themselves level 3, extremely frugal. Habit number 11 is taking the time to pick out the good leaves from a salad. Because we all know, we buy our spinach, we buy our spring mix thinking that we're gonna go healthy and eat salad every day, but do we actually do it? No. Of course, those things end up wilting, but I don't just throw away the box or the package it came in. I will go in though, and just at least try to pick out some of the good stuff. You know, I don't want to throw away the whole thing. I know there's still some good leaves in there. Same way we cut off the moldy part of bread, right? Right? Cutting your own hair. This is something that I've done for the last 7 years, 8 years, since 2017. Dang, that was 8 years ago. But this has been a great habit now that the prices of haircuts have been really going up. Like, if I see any barbershop and the barber is wearing black gloves and there are ring lights all around, I can already just say bye to $60 to $70 just to get a little fade. And personally, this habit works for me because I don't do any crazy stuff. Like, I just do a little taper. This was done a few days ago. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? And for my wife, we actually do her haircuts at home as well. She just does this like butterfly cut where she ties up the front of her hair and then ties up the back, and then we like cut both sides. I'll put a video right here too. But this philosophy isn't just restricted to hair cutting. This could be reflected in any personal grooming routine. So if you can remove some of these big expenses, like going to a nail salon by just learning how to do your own nails, maybe learning how to do your own waxing as well, these things can actually make a significant dent in your expenses. So then you can literally save hundreds or even thousands of more dollars a year. My 13th habit is that I don't dine out by myself. I'll only do it on really rare occasions, like when I'm out filming something or working out of town. For me, if I'm just gonna eat something by myself, might as well just cook it at home. I have no real reasons to go out outside of laziness and poor planning. But if I do decide to eat out, I might as well make it an experience where I kill two birds with one stone, like build relationships, connect with people, connect with my wife, and enjoy a bomb meal. So that's just kind of my mindset when I think about dining out. And habit number 14, it is finding gifts on Facebook Marketplace. And hold on, I know this is controversial, but I bought my wife's birthday gift last year from Facebook Marketplace. It was an iPhone 14 Pro Max. Like, that's a pretty dang good gift. And you probably don't care too much that it was owned by someone else. I'm sure other things like a game console would be fine from there, but I wouldn't buy like furniture for someone that's used and not my own place. Like I'm not gonna buy someone a couch that someone else owned. And just for funsies, there are some forbidden habits that I don't do personally, but I've seen people do it on those frugal living Facebook groups and on other YouTube videos. I like to think of these as level 4, too far frugal. Bonus habit 1 is avoiding showers to save money on your utilities. Gross. Bonus habit number 2 is to avoid using too much toothpaste each time you brush your teeth. That one just feels a little silly because once again, it has to do with your hygiene. And if you feel like you get the best brushing out of whatever amount you use, don't start cutting it down and end up brushing with water. Because stank breath is not worth saving 0.002 cents a month. Bonus habit number 3 is to avoid washing your clothes too many times. I understand there's the principle of it where like, okay, maybe a shirt that you didn't even sweat in or a jacket you didn't sweat in can like last for 3 or 4 wears. But if you are strictly avoiding washing your clothes in order to save money, you're walking a fine line of going too far for the sake of saving, once again, a few cents. And the last bonus habit is a moral dilemma, right? It is ordering a costume, wearing it for the event, and then returning it after the event. I'm not gonna lie, I've done that one. But I thought I should note this, that being frugal isn't just about cutting out your expenses and saving money. It's also about putting your money towards things that are actually quality and that are gonna last you and that actually add value to your life. So you need to watch this next video where I talk about 15 inexpensive items that are worth every dollar. Click it and I'll see you guys over there.